All right, so this is after work. Normally I'm doing these before work, but let me fix that. Are you fucking serious? Um, Normally I do these before work. It's after work because I had some technical difficulties this morning, and that being my microphone died. And if you've been watching since some earlier videos, me not charging my microphone used to be a big problem. Well, the problem now is this microphone will hold a charge for a pretty long time. And this is the first time I've charged it in like 2 weeks. I was charging every day, and then I forgot to charge it for a couple days, and I was like, oh, the battery just lasts a long time. I never thought to look and see how charged it was and if I needed to charge it. But I did legs today. I didn't film because my microphone was dead, and I just really wanted to just like lock in, listen to my music, and just like train my legs hard as fuck today. I definitely have to get like some kind of like an iPod or something that I could put my Apple Music on and listen to when I'm at the gym in my headphones, and I can still film on my phone. Because what I'm not doing is buying some fucking $2,000 camera to come and video this shit. I really appreciate you guys watching, but I'm not doing that. At least not yet. But what I did, so warming up, I did calf raises. I think I'm going to do that all the time. I think it gets like, I don't know, my ankles feel better. And then I was doing the plate loaded quad extension with just one plate on there. And I probably did like 5 or 6 sets, but like obviously I'm not like pushing super hard and going till failure. But then I was just waiting for this guy to get off the belt squat, and he was taking too long. So I went to see if I could get under a barbell. Not a fucking chance that was happening. And later, as soon as I realized that, turned around, he was done. I was like, fucking sweet, I can go use this now. So, did a little set with one plate, warmed up, went up to 2. And what I did today will now be a regular part of my leg day. I had the craziest quad pump I've ever had. So if your gym has a belt squat, you need to try this. So what I did was I would do full depth, as deep as I can go. With a belt squat, you should be able to go as deep as humanly possible because it's pulling you down. You don't have to lower yourself. And I would do like 5 kind of like half rep pulsing reps in the bottom range of the motion, and then a full one. And I would do that like 5 or 6 times until I just couldn't anymore. Bracket, immediately go off and go do quad extensions on the plate loaded one because it's right there next to it with 2 plates on it until failure. I'd only get like maybe 4 or 5 reps, maybe 6. Now my first probably 2 sets, maybe 3 sets on the belt squat, 2 sets, the first 2 sets, because I think I did 5 sets. The first 2 sets, I didn't do the superset, but I did on the other ones. Because I was like, this is really like taxing me and training my legs overall. But I wanted my quad to be like what I was mainly working. So I was like, if I throw these leg extensions in at the end, that will kind of do that. Let me tell you, that was fucking horrible, but it was a great idea. I mean, it pumped so much blood. I've never seen my legs so swollen with blood before. I was barely able to walk back and forth between the machine because my legs were shaking. Like, I was trying to piss before I got in the shower, and my fucking legs are shaking. I'm like leaning back, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna fall in this fucking urinal because my legs are so dead right now. So I don't have any actual like gym content that's gonna be in the video today. And then after that, I just did some hamstring curls because I was just kind of running out of time. But I tried to do some RDLs with like this machine that we have, but even using the belt squat, I don't know what I did to my back. My back is fucked. My right lat just feels so weird. I've noticed something in some of these videos. You'll notice like sometimes it looks like one of my shoulders like sits higher than the other one does. I don't know what the fuck that's about. I mean, it's got to be some kind of crazy muscle imbalance that I have, which I'm sure I have because I knew nothing about, training for symmetry or whatever in my first like initial years of training. So I have to go back now and like try to fix those things that, I mean, I developed major muscle imbalances, like in my legs and apparently in my fucking upper back. But overall, it was a very, very good training day. I mean, I'm very happy with how it ended. I was still able to do, 15 minutes of cardio at the end. And doing that belt squat, I'm doing those reps very slow and controlled because if I don't, my knee will hurt like a bitch. And I didn't wear my sleeves today because I wasn't doing any kind of like real serious weight. And if I can go without wearing my sleeves, I would rather do that because really they're not real like powerlifting, single or double ply sleeves. I just bought them at fucking Academy just to help with my knee pain. And they do that. Like my knee definitely, I noticed a significant difference in how my knee feels when I do that and when I don't do that. Like when I wear them, when I don't wear them. And they help keep my knees warm. But I prefer to not wear them if I can avoid it. And I didn't wear them today. And the one rep that I kind of like snapped out of the bottom, I felt like the tendon in my knee. And I was like, okay, it's time to slow it down. So, I don't know. I don't really have much else to say. I had a good day at work. It was a long day. It's, 7:20 now. I'll upload this when I get home. But really good hard leg day today. It seems to be like the days that I don't film are all my leg days. So I feel like it looks like I'm not training legs. I'm absolutely training my legs. Okay, I hope you can see in the way my legs look that I do train them. But now at this point, I feel like they're a weak point. I need to bring them up. So my leg growth kind of went stagnant. Because I really like a year or so ago, I was doing that knees over toes guy stuff, and I was really, really focusing on my legs. And at the time, I had more time to focus on my training because I was selling roofing. But I really focused on my legs, and I felt like I made them a strong point. Like I got to the point where I was like, people would definitely notice this about me is how big my legs are. And I mean, compared to most people, I have huge legs. But to my standard of where they should be, also compared to my upper body, they're not up to par with where I feel like they should be at. So, that's my main focus of my training right now is growing my legs. And I mean, I'm about to be in a deficit, but I've been able to grow in a deficit before, even if I'm, not growing significantly or whatever, and I'm just kind of mastering my leg training. I'm cool with that because the bulk is coming. Right, the goal, I'm like 240, 242 right now. The goal is going to be to get under 220 and then bulk back up to 250, maybe even 260 by the spring. It just depends on how my weight gain is going. I just passed my wife. But then I'm really, really going to grow my legs. I mean, that's probably going to be like a 5 or 6 month long, like actual serious hard bulk. And I think I'm going to put on some major size during that. But we got to get lean first. So, like I said, I've got a meal plan I'm excited about. It's going to take a lot of meal prep. But if I get up at my normal time on Sundays, which now like my fucking biological clock, if it's 5 a.m., I'm awake. I could go back to sleep, but I will wake up. Because like my body, like it was Sunday and I got up at 5 o'clock and I'm like, my fucking gym bag's not packed. Even Saturday night after I got off work, I was like, okay, I need to pack my gym bag. I need to get my work clothes. I need to set my gym clothes out for in the morning just because that's my routine. And then I didn't do any of that because I was like, shit, I don't have to work tomorrow. But I woke up and I'm literally like, I'm getting up and I'm looking around for where all my shit is. And then I'm like, oh yeah, like it's Sunday. I just need to go back to bed. But starting on this Sunday, I'll be getting up at my normal time, getting on my exercise bike, doing 30 minutes on my bike, getting in my sauna, doing 30 minutes in the sauna, take a shower, and then get started on my meal prep, and hopefully have most of it done before my wife and kids wake up, and so I can still spend most of the day with them, right? And I'll take a nap at some point. At some point that day, I will absolutely be taking a nap. But that's the schedule I have in mind to make this cut possible, because I think this cut's gonna just be fucking ridiculous. I mean, I really want to see all this muscle I've built, and I'm very curious of what my ab insertions look like if I have good insertions or whatever. I'm very, very curious, and I want to see what my face is going to look like, not so squishy, because I've had a squishy face my whole life. So I don't know if I really have anything else to talk about today. Leg training went well. Really excited about this cut. Really, I normally dread it, but the meal plan that I was able to put together, just the way that it's structured and what the meals are, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's something I'm going to be able to easily stick with as far as what the food is. It's just going to be staying on top of my meal prep. So, prepping for a full week of meals on Sunday, and then making sure I'm prepared to consistently do that. Because the problem I kept running into was, I'll just meal prep on Tuesday. Shit, I got to go into work, I got a meeting, or this customer's coming in, or I got to deliver this car, or whatever it is. So I got to eliminate that as a factor and schedule it out to where I can do the stuff I know I'm supposed to be doing. Because I was talking to my friend about this, that I kind of train. He used to be one of my personal training clients. He was my friend before that. I trained him because he's my friend. But we're kind of talking about, I talked to him about his training and his diet and stuff like that. And he was talking about how he wants to be, how crazy would it be if he could get to 200 pounds. And I told him, you absolutely can get to 200 pounds. It's not a question of if that is possible. It's a question of if you're going to do what it takes to make that happen, right? And really, I got to say that to myself too, because I haven't been under 220 in 5 years. I mean, at my peak, single, super locked in, I was hitting 1,800 calories a day. I was doing over an hour of cardio a day, every day, even on my rest days. Well, on my rest days, it wasn't quite that much. It was just my normal, 20, 30 minutes of cardio. I could not get under 220, no matter how hard I tried. I would just get leaner and bigger. I just kept improving. I was just recompositioning at a certain body weight. Now, if I get to 225 and that just continues to happen, I'm cool with that. I'm okay with being 225, but I want to be in a position where I can look to put on, 20, 30, maybe even 40 pounds over the span of, 5 to 7 months from, let's say October, we'll say October, November, December, January, February. That's at least 5. March is going to be 6. Well, we would probably start the cut in April, right? But I'm not going to let myself get, too soft like I am now. And then I think that cut will be really crazy, because then I'd probably get to where I'm 240 with abs. That would just be fucking insane. But that's just a little peek into my plans for the future. I'm sorry I didn't video my training today. There's definitely still going to be days where I'm fuck this filming shit. I just want to come in here and I just want to go balls to the wall and train and have my headphones in and whatever. Nothing was wrong. I mean, I had a good day yesterday and I had a good morning and whatever. It's just, some of those days, specifically on leg training, I just mentally, this will make sense to anyone who's actually actively training. It's pretty easy to come in on chest day and be pumped up to be there and push yourself through those hard sets. Really, same thing with back. I mean, if you're a deadlifter, I definitely can see you know, you really got to lock in and push yourself through those sets. But, you know, if you just train back like I do, and arms or whatever, like that stuff, I'm not gonna say like pushing yourself like that is easy, but like it's easier for me to get to the mental space that I need to do that, because it's not like as much suffering as leg training is. But that's also why I think in the bodybuilding world in general, and I've always had the opinion that, I mean, legs is what separates the boys from the men, right? If you've got no legs, but you've got a great upper body, you don't like you like to shy away from the hard shit, right? I think that's also why you've seen in men's physique, all these guys are looking to fill their shorts out now. Even though they're not getting judged on their legs, they still want to look proportionate and look good and, you know, be respected and not be looked at as like, oh, you just don't want to train legs. Because I definitely, when I started in the gym, I was one of those people, like, I don't do legs. I was like, I can just wear long pants. Like, nobody cares about legs. But now, that's like the first thing if you got crazy legs, that's the first thing I'm going to notice about you. If you have small legs, that's the first thing I'm going to notice. Because, I don't know, I think that gets you a different level of respect from guys that train, like, for real, like, really hard. Is like, when you walk in the gym and you've got some fucking legs on you, I see that and I'm like, that dude is disciplined and he trains fucking hard. Because pushing yourself through, like, those hard sets of squats, I mean, like, those squats I was doing today, you know, I'd get to a certain point where I'm standing at the top and I'm like, dude, I want to quit right now. Like, I don't want to go back down again, but I know I can. So I just, obviously, I tell myself, stop being a pussy and just do it. And then I did. And I wanted to vomit. But we got through it. This is definitely changing my opinion that I have on leg training as far as, like, the volume that you need to do. But, you know, I think it's important to be open-minded about that kind of stuff and to keep in mind that all these different muscles that you have all have different purposes. They're all structured differently, right? Like, obviously, like, the quads are, you know, the pushing muscle of the legs, but you can't train them like your chest and your shoulders and your triceps. You can't train, you know, I think you can train your shoulders pretty much just like you train your chest. They're basically the same thing as far as, you know, movement-wise. And, you know, triceps and whatever, like, all of this stuff, you know, it has to, if you're a logical thinker, right, you've got a couple IQ points, you should be able to understand that all these different muscles you have all have different functions and structures to them, so they all have different requirements as far as training and what it's going to take to make them grow. So you got to kind of keep an open mind. If what you're doing is working and you're growing, fuck what I say. Just keep doing what you're doing. But at some point, that growth will become stagnant, and now it's time to train. Because there was a time that I could go in the gym and just warm up to like a 2 or 3 set, you know, max fucking squat, not 2 or 3 set, 2 or 3 rep max squat, and my legs would just grow. I mean, when you're really my age, or, you know, you're in that, like, you know, 15, 16 to like 25, you know, range, maybe even in your later 20s, I don't know, I'm 23. I mean, you can just think about training and you'll probably, I mean, you'll grow, you know, I mean, you're in the prime of your life at that point. So I don't know where I was going with that point. I had a thought, and it was a good one, but I lost it. I don't know. I got lost in a rabbit hole about ages. I don't know where I was going with that. But, you know, the moral of the story is train your fucking legs and train them hard. And I'm starting to be of the opinion that you need to do lots and lots of reps and not so much weight. So I think that concludes my talking for today. We're almost at 20 minutes of me just talking to myself in my car. So tomorrow is chest day. So I'll see y'all tomorrow.